Assalamu alaikum dear students of class 3. Today we are going to do elementary science chapter 9 the sun for life starting from page 107. So let's start. Chapter 9 the sun for life. Every morning we get up from bed and see the sun. The sun is essential for our survival. The sun is located far away from the earth and so it appears so much than our earth. Number 1. The sun as a source of heat and energy. Question. What is sun? Activity 1. Knowing the sun, what to do. Let's make a table like the one shown below. Number 2. Discuss with classmates what we know about the sun and how the sun helps us. So let's see the answer of this task. Here is the answer. Activity 1. What do we know about the sun? What will happen if there is no sun? The sun will give us light and heat. It will be dark and cold all the time. Now let's go back to the book. Going to the next page. What do we get from the sun? What will happen to us if there is no sun? What can the sun do? Activity 2. Observing the brightness and heat of the sun. Materials required: magnifying glass, a piece of black paper. What to do? Make a table like the one shown below. Number 2. Cast sunlight on black paper with magnifying glass. 3. First make a large circle of light on the paper by moving the glass up or down. Observe the brightness of the light and write it in the table. 4. Then move the magnifying glass up or down to make a small circle of light. Observe the light's brightness and write it in the table. 5. Then write in the table the changes observed for the large and small circles of light. Number 6. Discuss the observations with classmates. So let's see the answer of this. Here is the answer. The size of the light circle on the black piece of paper. Brightness. Changes seen on the paper. Large circle of light. Brightness is less and change is the paper becomes warm. Small circle of light, the brightness is more and the change is smoke rises and the paper burns. Now let's go back to the book. Here is the image. Concentrated light, large circle. Moving the magnifying glass up and down changes the shape of the large circle. How to cast light to burn the paper? Sunlight should be cast in such a way that the light circle becomes smaller. Result. Paper can be burned by passing sunlight through a magnifying glass. The light becomes the brightest when the circle is small. Smoke can be seen rising from the paper. The paper catches fire for the small circle of light. Here is the result I have seen. I have shown you that before. Going to the next page. Let's learn more about the sun as a source of heat and light. The sun is the primary source of light on the earth. We can see during the day because of sunlight. Without the sun, there will be darkness all the time. The sun is also the primary source of heat. That is why we feel hot when we are outside on bright sunny days. The sun warms the atmosphere near the surface of the earth. If the sun were further away from the earth would be colder. The regions of the earth where the sun shines less are colder and covered in snow. For example, the North Pole and the South Pole of the earth. The sun also plays an important role in controlling airflow and rainfall. We can generate electricity by absorbing sunlight with solar panels. Apart from these, solar cookers can also be made using the heat of the sun. It is mentionable that solar cookers and solar panels are pollution-free and environment-friendly. Images of solar cooker and solar panel. Going to the next page. Point 2. The importance of the sun for living things. What is the importance of the sun for living things? Activity. Understanding the importance of the sun for living things. What to do? Let's make a table like the one shown below. Number 2. Write in the table why the sun is important for plants and animals. Number 3. Discuss with classmates the importance of the sun for living things. So let's see the answer of this. Here is the answer. Importance of the sun for plants. Plants make food through using sunlight. importance of the sun for animals. Animals depend on plants for food, either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating other animals that consume plants. Now let's go back to the book. Can plants make food without sunlight? What would happen to the animals if there were no sun? Summary: the sun is important for animals and plants. It provides them with the energy they need to survive because plants make food with the help of sunlight. Animals are dependent on plants for food directly or indirectly. Let's learn more about the importance of the sun for living things. Plants make food using sunlight. Humans and other animals depend on plants for food. When plants use sunlight to make food, oxygen gas is released. This oxygen is used by animals for respiration. The sun regulates the Earth's temperature. This creates a suitable environment for plants, humans, and other animals to live in. The presence of the sun illuminates the Earth and allows us to see the surrounding environment. Without the sun, there would be darkness all around us. The existence of the sun makes life possible on Earth. Going to the next page. Point 3. The relations between the position of the sun and the direction of the shadow. The shadows of various objects is related to the position of the sun. Question: what is the relation between the shadow and position of the sun? Activity: observing the change in the direction of shadows of objects in sunlight. What to do? Now we will answer the task. I'm not reading the I am not reading the instructions. I'm directly going to the answer. So let's see the answer. Here is the answer. Name of object: tree, pole. Position of the sun: east, west. Direction of the shadow: west, east. Now let's go back to the book. Where in the next page, I saw the shadow in the east. So can you tell me in which direction is the sun? In the west. Result: the sun and the shadow stay in the opposite direction to each other. The sun rises in the east. At that time, the shadow is in the west. On the other hand, the sun sets in the west while the shadow is in the east. Depending on the time of the day, the shadow slowly moves from west to east. How is shadow created? Discussion. Let's discuss the following questions with classmates. How is the shadow created? Let's learn more about the creation of the shadow. Light travels in straight lines. When an opaque object comes in the path of the light falling on that object cannot reach the other direction. So that particular area gets dark and looks black. In this way, if any object blocks the light, a shadow is created against the light source. By looking at the shadows of different objects, we can understand that the shape of the shadow is similar to the shape of the object. Question: what is the relation between the length of an object's shadow and the change in the sun's position? Activity: observing the shadow. Materials required: a long stick, measuring tape. Now I'm going to the answer directly. Here is the answer. Time: 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. Length of the shadow: 9 p.m. long, 12 p.m. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. long, 12 p.m. short, 3 p.m. long. Now let's go back to the book. We're back to the book. When is the length of a shadow the shortest? At noon. Result: the length of the shadow changes according to the changes in the position of the sun. Discussion. Let's discuss with classmates the following topics. When is the length of a shadow the shortest? Why? 2. When is the length of a shadow the highest? Why? Now let's see the answer of these two questions. Here is the answer. Number 1. When is the length of a shadow the shortest? Why? Answer. The length of the shadow is the shortest at noon. This is because the sun is directly overhead at that time, causing the shadow to fall directly beneath the object and appear very small. Number 2. When is the length of a shadow the longest or highest? Why? Answer. The length of the shadow is the longest in the morning and the late afternoon. This happens because the sun is lower in the sky during these times, which causes the shadow to stretch further as the light hits the object at an angle. Now let's go back to the book. We are back to the book. Let's learn more about the relation of an object's shadow length with the changes in the sun's position. As the position of the sun changes, the length of the shadow changes. The sun is tilted low in the morning and afternoon sky. As a result, the shadow becomes longer. At noon, the sun is high. As a result, the length of the shadow is the shortest at noon. Let's learn more about the sun and shadow. Clocks can be made using shadows. It is called a sundial. The time can be told by seeing where the shadow of the stick of the sundial falls in the sunlight. For example, if the shadow is towards the cut of 12, it indicates 12 noon. Imagine you are rotating a swivel chair on the school grounds. In that case, you will feel like the school flag is also moving around you. In fact, just as the flag is stationary, so is the sun stationary at the center of the solar system. And as the chair rotates, so the earth rotates on its axis. As a result, we think that the sun is moving around the earth like a flag. See the image? Going to the next page, let's see if we can do it. Number 1. Use the following 3 words and write a paragraph of 3 lines about the importance of the sun. So let's see the answer of this. Here is the answer. The sun helps plants make food through photosynthesis. It protects from the cold of winter by providing warmth. It also helps us to see by giving light during the day. Now let's go back to the book. 2. Observe the following pictures. Write down the things where sunlight is used to dry or make in daily lives. We have to observe these images, then we have to write here. So let's see the answer of this. Here is the answer. A. Making dry fish. B. Drying spices. C. Cultivating salt. D. Making raisins. Now let's go back to the book. 3. The things we need to do. Observe the shadow of a stick by keeping the torchlight at different positions 1, 2 and 3. Complete the table below to understand how the length of the shadow is related to the position of the torch. So we have to answer this table now. So let's see the answer. Here is the answer. Position of the torch. Number 1, lean. Number 2, upright. Number 3, lean. Length of shadow, prediction and observation. Prediction, small, big, small. Observation, long, small, long. Now let's go back to the book again. Here's the question. What is the similarity between the shadow of the sun at morning, afternoon and noon with the shadow cast by the torch at different positions? So let's see the answer. Here is the solution for that. Yes, the shadow cast at different positions of the torch is similar to the shadow cast by the sun in the morning, afternoon and noon. Now let's go back to the book. The last activity. Number 4. Place a straw at the middle of a plastic plate and make a sundial as shown in the picture. Measure the length of the shadow cast falls at 4 p.m. on the prepared sundial. Find out where the shadow will be and how long the shadow will be at 5 p.m. So let's see the answer of this. Here is the answer. Solution. We make a sundial as shown in the picture by placing a straw in the middle of a plastic plate, measuring the length of the shadow cast at 4 p.m. on the constructed sundial. See the image. It denotes 4 p.m. here. It denotes 4. Now, time 4 p.m. length of the shadow is 4.3 centimeter. Now finding where the shadow will be at 5 p.m. and writing the length of the shadow in the table. Again draw the sundial in the 5th clock's room and write the following table. Time 5 p.m. length of shadow 5.3 centimeter. And that's all for today. We will again meet in the next video. Till then, stay well, stay safe.